All right, the U.S. Supreme Court issuing their order lists, and I have not taken a look at this myself, but we're going to do it together here with Bishop on Air as we pull this up. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. All right, so before we get to it, background. Illinois has multiple cases challenging Illinois' gun and magazine ban. Plaintiffs in the lower courts, in the Southern District, in the Northern District, those went different ways on preliminary issues, not on the merits, on initial requests to block the law. In the Southern District, that was granted. Then it went up to the appeals court, and the appeals court said, no, the state's likely to succeed. Well, plaintiffs, they went to the U.S. Supreme Court and said, hey, can you intervene in this? This is getting a little hairy. So the orders that we're going to review here are from a U.S. Supreme Court conference, because as you had preliminary issues being requested for the U.S. Supreme Court to review, they went ahead and took these several cases out of Illinois and a case out of Maryland and put them into the conference. And the conference, as we heard from Hannah Hill from the National Foundation for Gun Rights, she said last week when we chatted with her, you know, the conference is when they get together and talk about these cases.
Conference is basically when the justices essentially sit down around a conference table and take the first look at cases, officially discuss the cases that have been brought before them for appeal. Typically, a case that they end up taking will have been discussed a few times at several different conferences. That process is called relisting it. So they could decide today to reject the case immediately. They could decide to accept the case and grant certiorari immediately, and then we would move into the briefing and oral argument stage. Or they could, as I mentioned, they could relist it. They could relist it. They could punt it multiple times if they wanted to do that. Just by way of putting that into perspective, Bruin itself was relisted 4 different times before they officially granted cert.
So clearly, there's a lot to be said as to what these possible orders are. So going through, and some of you have already taken a look here, Bianchi, Dominic et al. V. Brown, Attorney General of Maryland. The petition for writ of certiorari before judgment is denied. So let's see if we can find that on the Bianchi. There we go. So Bianchi, that's the Maryland case. That is denied. So the petition for writ of certiorari before judgment is denied. What else we got? I don't see the Barnett case. Let's see here. Barnett. I'm not seeing it. Raul. No. Illinois. That's just one case. So what do we got here? Do we not have the Barnett case being considered? Let's see if we can pull up some of the other ones. Man. Well. Anybody else seeing some lists here? Looking at the live chat as we go through this, other than the Bianchi case that was denied before, you know, the final judgment. And I think that's a pretty important issue here. Before final judgment, that's because these cases are in preliminary stages. So what's going to happen with say the Southern Illinois case? Well, that could mean that the Southern Illinois case is going to march right on ahead. So I'm going to go and look at a docket search with the U.S. Supreme Court, look up the Barnett case, and let's see, Caleb Barnett versus petitioner Kwame Raoul, and do they relist it? I'm not seeing it relisted as of today. The most recent action was reply on April 30th, but in the orders, we don't see that. So let's just kind of go through and pour all of this down here. No, let's see. So just follow with me, just scrolling through, see what kind of headlines we can get out of this order list. And again, if you guys see anything, be sure to, comment. I did search for Raul. I didn't see Raul in this list. Let's see. We can also probably do Kelly. Nope, there's only one instance of Kelly. What about Pritzker? Nope, I don't see Pritzker either. And I'm just going to try Barnett again. Nope. I see Barrett, but not Barnett. So just apparently, but it might be relisted, and the relisting may have not happened here. So cert denied for all of these cases that you can see. Tons of cases, by the way. I mean, it's incredible how much the U.S. Supreme Court's asked to take on things. But this could be good news because, as Hannah Hill told us last week, seeing this on Monday's list probably would have been problematic.
It's pure speculation, but I would be nervous about that. I think it's a lot easier to decide immediately to reject a case than it is to decide to take it. And for that reason, if they decided today on the case's disposition, I would be a little nervous about that. Experts that know more about the court than I do, Mark Smith of Four Boxes Diner, he is predicting that we will get at least a couple of relists on this one. And he's also predicting that we may have reason to hope that they'll take it eventually. I definitely hope he's right on that. And certainly he's more of an expert on the Supreme Court than I am. At this point, we know they've had this case on their radar for a while. Last year, we brought this same case to them on an emergency basis a couple of times.
So there's been a lot that the U.S. Supreme Court has been asked to tackle with these cases. But I think what at least we can determine from this list, not including the Barnett case and rejecting the Maryland case, is the Southern District case continues. And looks like you've got the possibility of Judge Stephen McGlynn in the Southern District of Illinois taking up that case on the merits. So we'll be tracking that for you as we do each and every time there's a change in the docket. So appreciate you guys sticking around. And in addition to the live show here with Bishop on Air, so we'll see you sooner than later. All right. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And we'll be back at it. Appreciate you guys.